Good evening, everyone. I've been asked to say a few words before I give the award. I just wanted to say there was an audio making its rounds about a young boy who was being sodomized repeatedly. Believe it or not, I have not mustered the courage to listen to the audio. The reactions of those who have listened to it have been enough for me. When Roxy made a decision to start the Men of the Year Awards, stating that men are not appreciated enough in society, there was an uproar from many women that feel that Zambia is still a male-dominant society, which has more privileges for men than women. I agree. I too fight for girl empowerment. But I want you to know that the reason why I fight for girl empowerment is because I believe in the utmost worth of human beings, male or female. I feel that the push should not be to change the society from a male-dominant one to a female-dominant one, but rather to create a society where men and women will both thrive to be the best that they can be, to fully develop their abilities and live out their dreams for the benefit of all society. I grew up at a time when girls were kicked out of school when they got pregnant while the boy continued. When females were considered liabilities in the workplace because they would get pregnant and go on maternity leave. I grew up seeing macho men leading and doing great things and nicely put together and proper all the time. You can imagine my initial shock when I started practicing. I found out that men are humans too. Did you know that? They get hurt, they get backstabbed, they struggle with grief and bereavement, they get cheated on too and divorced by their partners, they lose jobs, they get bankrupt, and they experience deep insecurities, anxieties, depression, and so on, all of which women experience too. I like to say that I'm worried for the man of tomorrow because he's not prepared for the woman of tomorrow. There are too few interventions and programs focusing on mentoring boys and young men in the community. When I'm asked about empowerment programs for women and girls, the list is endless. But I can't count on one hand any empowerment or mentorship programs for boys that I know of. Sometimes when a recovering female alcoholic asks me what they'll do with their time, I know exactly what to suggest to them. But when it is a man or a male, I hit the wall. Men are important for a stable society and for the general health and well-being of society. Sometimes the value of the thing is not appreciated until you have to live without it. For example, increased father absent homes have been associated with increased aggression, violence, and drug use in the community. They are also 25 more times likely to have a family of poverty when it is a fatherless home than when it is not. A study in the USA, because no such studies I know of have been done here, show that 71% of children who abuse substances come from fatherless homes. Fatherless children are also 40% more likely to repeat a class or drop out of school. Their study showed that 70% of teenage pregnancies come from fatherless homes. I just want to clarify here that biological fatherhood is certainly not what we're talking about, since essentially all of us have a biological father, ha ha ha. So Roxy, I congratulate you for doing this event that appreciates men. It is one more constructive way that men can spend their time. It is one more aspiration that men can have that can take them away from bars, drugs, and from destruction. Let us celebrate and appreciate men. They are our counterparts in this life. We want them to keep aspiring to be worthy counterparts and to make this world a better place. I will now take this time to present the Best Man Medical Award. So the Best Man Medical Award honors a male practicing physician who has demonstrated his commitment to patient care, educating the general public, who has dedicated themselves to medical science as well, and has diligently performed public service on behalf of medicine. The nominees are
in the category Best Man Medical, the nominees are Dr. Kachinga Sichizia, Professor Lupando Munkonge, Dr. Joseph Kabungo, Dr. Aaron Mujachati.
This year's recipient of the Best Man Medical Award is Dr. Aaron Mujachati.